Fritzy just saw the news that Kobe Bryant's going to be inducted with the 2020 class in the Basketball Hall of Fame. Reggie Miller is a member of the Basketball Hall of Fame, Turner Sports NBA analyst. Reg, normally with us on Tuesday, but given the circumstances, wanted to be on today. Talk about Kobe Bryant. Hi, Reg.
Good morning, Theodore and my Danette. Look, this is going to be a tough one for me. Because, I felt that I really helped raise this young man. Kobe was 17 or 18 when he joined Arntellum, at the time our agent. And I just vividly remember the conversation, since I was one of the senior, statesmen of the agency. He really wanted me to kind of talk and mentor to Kobe, this young, flashy, Philadelphia kid coming in, and just kind of, tell him and show him, direct him down the right NBA path. And I was like, sure, I'm down for that. So, a lot of conversations with young Kobe, and his main focus was not only to be great, we all know that, but he loved Michael Jordan, and he wanted to be the next Jordan. And, at that time, MJ and I were headbutting one another and going at it. It was during, some of those playoff runs versus Chicago, that one epic 7-game series. And he wanted to know every little thing that we, the trash talking that went back and forth between he and I. What was this move he did against you? That move you did against him? He was the little details he wanted to know. And I'm like, well, why does this kid want to know all this stuff? Really? But he was taking notes. He was already formulating a plan. And to see him grow over the years to where he and I were having issues and problems and fights, but none of that matters, because the true competitor that Kobe is, I kind of, this day resembles, and I remember coming on your show as well, is when Michael Jackson passed away. And I remember talking to you on this show saying I cried like a baby. And I was like, I don't care if people know. I was crying like a baby yesterday, because a lot like Michael Jackson, we opened our homes to Kobe at such a young age. I mean, he was a kid coming to us. So we embraced him. We saw him grow up in front of us. And it is just I cannot believe this, Theodore. I cannot.
And, I appreciate you coming on, Reg. It's just like Jerry West, who's going to come on at the top of the hour. I didn't know. I juggled with the sensitivity of this, because I know that you know Kobe, you knew Kobe, you helped raise him, as you say, and then how do you put into words? Because you never think you're going to have this moment at age, 41. You're looking at saying goodbye to somebody who's 41 years of age, and so whatever words you have, we appreciate, and everybody certainly understands the emotion attached to this. I like the fact that,
and it adds to it too, as well as there was 9 total people lost in this, and the families and the tragedy. But Gigi has done it. It just compounds it as well, because she was going to be the next one. And you see them at all these sporting events, at the UConn games. She came to the UCLA women's games, the men's games, they've been a lot of places together watching basketball, and you see him tutoring and teaching her, whispering in her ear. It's somewhat surreal, because all the knowledge, all what I just mentioned about him taking notes, he was taking notes not only for himself to be a 5-time champion, 2-time gold medalist, win an Oscar, and he is supplying all this information over all these years since he was 17 years old professionally, and he's given it to his 4 daughters and his wife. It's paying it forward, and it was beautiful to see and watch.
You saw him at Laker game recently, didn't you? A couple of months ago.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. We hugged and we talked because it was funny. The Kobe and the relationship he and I have had since he's retired, his last year and retired was great. When we played, at that shooting guard position, it was cut or be cut, right? It was, you were coming for people's head. And he was such a competitor. And, to me, he was a throwback player to the 80s and 90s when I played because he literally would do whatever it took to win. And he wanted to embarrass you. And I love that about him because I was very much the same way. I wanted to embarrass you. Kobe wanted to embarrass you in front of your family and friends. And I loved players like that. And it's probably one of the biggest reasons, probably why we didn't get along on the court, is because we were so much alike.
We're talking to Reggie Miller, the Hall of Famer, Turner Sports NBA analyst. The word I keep coming up with when I mentioned the name, he was always curious. I loved his curiosity. And you mentioned this about basketball. He was curious with life and trying to figure out things. I don't think he was ever embarrassed or ashamed to not know something. He was embarrassed or ashamed if he didn't try to know something, that he just wanted. There was a thirst there. So I could understand where he just started accumulating all this information on being a great basketball player. But also at the time, Reg, and you were there when Tracy McGrady was the next Michael Jordan, or Grant Hill was the next Michael Jordan. We kept kind of christening, that's the next Michael Jordan. Kobe wanted to be the next Michael Jordan. These other players were like, I don't know if I want to be Michael Jordan. Kobe's like, oh my God, yeah. What better compliment? You're going to say I'm the next Michael Jordan. I think we wanted him to become the next Michael Jordan. He emerged as the original Kobe Bryant.
Theodore, a day after, maybe 2 days after that 7-game loss that I had against MJ, Scotty, and the Bulls, he calls me. And we're having a conversation about that game. And, I keep referring to MJ as that black cat. I'm like, that black cat, man. He just kept willing those guys. We had him down. He was struggling, but he kept the pressure on us. And, you remember that move he did? And, it was stone silence on the other end of the phone. He's like, you know what? I'm going to become the caramel cat. What are you talking about? You call him the black cat. I'm going to become the caramel cat. I'm like, what are you talking about, Cole? So it's just funny, because I was so upset after that series because I wanted to retire MJ, and I'm thinking, here comes the next MJ that I'm talking to on the phone right here. So,
and this is why I wanted you on today, because I know yesterday hurt, but today should celebrate. And it's important to hear that. He was too good to not celebrate. Yeah. And I know yesterday was tough for you, and that's why I didn't reach out. I'm glad you reached out to me, because I hope it's a little cathartic for you to talk about fun things and really what made him a special player.
Let's remember those unbelievable epic games he's had, but also all the things he did in the Philadelphia and Los Angeles community, in taking care of kids. He always was a champion of the underdog. We know his greatness on the court. That will forever be in images and videos and pictures. We know that. We get that. A lot of people didn't see what he was doing behind the scenes in helping people. He was helping people. So please remember that, and let's celebrate that. Let's celebrate Kobe. It's great to be sad and cry. Look, I was painful yesterday. I was broken. But I am going to celebrate Kobe Bryant.
Hey, you got a game this week?
Well, Turner, they switched us and put me on that Lakers-Clippers game Tuesday. So it's going to be great to be a part of that and be in that atmosphere.
Oh, boy.
And feel that love.
Oh, boy.
And feel that love. It's going to be a tough game.
Yeah.
But I'm just so glad that Turner put me on this game. We're having the studio guys come out, Charles, Shaq. I can only imagine what Shaq is going through. I mean, this is a family. You don't understand the blood, sweat, and tears it takes to make it to the NBA. And then to be great, to be part of the Mount Rushmore like Kobe. I mean, Kobe is great. It's a small brotherhood, and we lost a humongous figure in our family. That's why it's tough for us to comprehend, Theodore. It really is. But we are going to celebrate Kobe Bean.
Great to hear from you, Reg. We'll be watching tomorrow night, Clippers and the Lakers on TNT. Thank you, buddy. Love you.
Theodore, you're the best. Thank you, guys.
That's Reggie Miller. And I knew he had a tough day yesterday. I'd heard that he had a tough day. And I just thought, you know what? It's good that he'll be on Tuesday, and that'll give him a little bit of time to grieve. And then, because he saw him as a kid. And then all of a sudden, at age 41, and you're like, how do you process all this? And of course, everybody else who passed away as well.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.